Don't know if this is working. Sorry, guys. This is a bit funny for me. It's just... we're doing it this way. Sorry, guys. Oh, fun stuff, fun stuff. Sorry, guys. Just sort of messing around with this for a second. First time on YouTube for the Aftercast. Very cool. Alrighty, I have a bit better of a view of people's comments this way. Kayla, screw off. What's going on, Tom? Sal, how are you? Mindy? Yeah, just waiting on Jason here. I don't know if he's actually going to join me or not. He hasn't answered my messages in a few minutes, but needless to say, that was an interesting podcast. I have no idea if you're joking around, Sal. Is it? I have a new iPhone, and we're going through YouTube, so obviously the quality is a little better than we're used to on the Aftercast. So I'm blocking you from my channel, Kayla. I'm just gonna block you. Just give me a second here. Nope, nothing yet. So yeah, it looks like oh, awesome. Yeah, no, that we had a lot of people there for a while. Well, I shouldn't say there for a while. We even ended with over 300, which is insane because usually we barely break 300. But no, that was really good. I've really come back around on Barcheck. For a while, I fed into all the crap that's out there online, but I've taken some time to try to think for myself well before now. And oh, you're here. Cool. It is not showing you as here. Yeah, it's not showing you as here, Jason. Weird. You might have to just give me a second here. Does it say you're in the waiting room or whatever you want to call it? Because oh, you know what? Oh, because it made me. I know. One sec. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to shoot Jason an invite, so I'm gonna disappear for a second. All right, there we go. So what happened was, because I started this past my original time, it actually made me start a brand new stream. I just hope that Jason would be able to join the same one, but I guess that's not the case. And here we go. Very cool. How's it going, man?
Hold on, dude.
Good. Yeah, this is a little better than IG.
Yeah, no doubt. I will tell you, there's a bunch of people in the comments of the other one waiting for you.
Oh, great. If anybody could jump over to that other one for us and just let them know.
I'll do it.
Thank you. That StreamYard's actually forced me to create a new live. It wouldn't let me join the one that was previously scheduled because we went a little over on the time. Yeah, thanks, Tom. Jason, just let me know. Yeah, I wish. This is my first time using StreamYard, so I wasn't aware that if I set that up timed and didn't get in here by that time, it wouldn't let me started. I don't know if maybe that's a setting I need to change on my laptop or something when I get home on StreamYard, but I don't know. Were you in there for that whole live, Jason? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? What is going on? Oh, okay. So I guess it's Jason. We can't hear. Okay, cool. So I'll just fill some time in here. Yeah. So I don't know. I was really starting to come around on Barczyk. There he is. Long before tonight. Jason can even attest for that. I have been talking to him about it for a while, and yeah, I think I've gotten over the whole public incited hatred for Brian. It seems like he's just a really nice, cool dude that kind of gets a lot of shit for very little reason.
Can you hear me now?
I sure can.
There we go.
Awesome.
I'm still over here on the iPad trying to get everybody to go over to this one.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. If anybody else has access to that other stream, I would do it myself, but I can't, and can throw a comment down in that other one. I'd really appreciate it. Again, I apologize. StreamYard made me start a new stream. Yeah, like I was saying, I've even been talking to you about it, Jason, about how, I had a bit of a hate on for Barczyk myself for a while, and I've been slowly coming around to it. Obviously, you know him. We're both mutual friends with Cusco, and he's real close with Brian, and I just kind of started realizing that a lot of the shit I thought was influenced by stuff I saw online and not by my own reasoning, right? So
yeah, obviously I don't have enough history with him to know otherwise. I mean, I've been watching the vlog for 3 years now, 4 years now, something like that. I came into the hobby through snake bites, that kind of thing. So I do know what some of the history looks like. But I've never had any reason not to like him and appreciate the guy and consider him a friend in that. So, but there's always going to be people that are bitter about whatever for in the time. There's plenty of people that don't like me for whatever reason, and
they don't like you? No way.
So be it, I guess. Hey, we're down to only 7 in that other chat, so they're dropping.
That's
good. They're dropping like flies.
Good. They're probably just leaving and not even coming here.
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because back in the day, I used to be one of those snake bites kids too. That back when that was one of the 5 shows on YouTube, I'd watch it every time he posted, and then I got a little more involved in the hobby, and I saw a lot of the vitriol online and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know, I just sort of let myself get taken away by it, and before long, I just, I thought I wasn't a fan of the guy, but I really should have just, and here's the thing, I've met him like 3-4 different times, and like he's always been nothing but nice to me, so I had no reason to think otherwise, but I'm just starting to realize that a lot of the crap online gave me an impression of the guy that I should have never had. So I'm glad I had the opportunity, very barely, to talk to him tonight. And I'm glad that I have friends that are friends of his, like you, like Brian, that have kind of just made me realize that I was just being an idiot. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point though that I still want to go to the facility, and see it for myself. Yep. But I'm fairly confident at this point that it's going to live up to my expectations. I think there's, he's got too much to lose at this point to be what everybody claimed he was.
Yeah, you know what the thing is on top of that, though? There is certain things that people said or say about him that were 100% true, but he's owned up to all of that. And that's one thing that I wasn't aware of. He said, hey, listen, you know what? Yeah, our collection was too big. I kind of let it get out of control because I relied way too heavily on my employees, and I paid the price for that. He's like, listen, I'm not downplaying that at all. And the fact that I heard him say straight up, like, listen, it was my fault that I gave my employees too much trust. That goes a long way for me, because that can happen to anybody in any business. You know what I mean? Like, he thought he could trust some people that turns out were kind of shitty, and he got fucked for it. And it just sucks. So
yeah, it's just like any empire. Eventually, it has to fall. He found it quick enough and was able to catch it before it completely imploded.
Yep.
And I think he was wise to scale back and focus in a different direction. It seems to have benefited him greatly. So,
well, whatever he's doing now, obviously he's doing well for himself, and it's working. So, yeah, whether it was a good thing at the time or not, it turned out great, right? So, I don't know, the fact that he was willing to accept all the responsibility for that and just say, hey, listen, yeah, I fucked up. As soon as I realized what was happening, I realized it was too much. I scaled back. I fixed it. Okay, you know what? If you're willing to admit your mistakes, there's no longer any reason to dislike the guy, right? Like, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, whether they're big or small scale. So, anyway.
There's people talking about me in the chat.
Oh, what are they saying?
Mindy Timeless Morph says Jason is a Fed. He said so when MJ was on his open mic. You're not wrong.
That's funny.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm sure you're gonna be on here a little bit. Is that true?
I'll be on here for at least 25 more minutes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna bounce out of here and grab my iPad and go in the snake room. My daughter's sleeping next door, and I'll jump back in on that link you sent me.
Sounds good, man.
I'll be right back.
All right. Oh man. Okay, so the one thing I am missing from the Instagram lives is that questions tab, because that was really easy to bring up while I was driving. Now, for next week, I'll have a way to orientate this so you have me in full screen, but hoping that this is a better situation for everybody. I'm kind of liking this setup, and I'm actually getting no feedback, which is nice, because on Instagram I got a lot of feedback through my truck whenever somebody else was on. So I saw a lot of people in the chat, since we're waiting for Jason, ask about what happened with the sunset thing, because Brian said he wasn't going to touch on it. So I'll go over it very quickly. Basically, we were just going over the fact that, or I was just going over the fact that Brian let himself get a little bit too big, and he put a lot of faith in some people maybe he shouldn't, and he paid the price for that. One of those prices that he paid was a bunch of his 100% het animals were stolen and replaced with, I believe, normals, or I'm not too sure what, as well as a bunch of his visual males, or I don't know what the story was, but he was left with no visual males, and he wasn't sure if any of his hets were actually his 100% hets. So yeah, it really fucked him out of the project. And until our buddy Brian at Triple B sent him a male this year, he had no visual male to put back to those females. So he's actually working het to pos het with a bunch of these females to try and hit another one, and it had been unsuccessful. Luckily now he's got the male that Brian gifted to him, and should hopefully be able to prove out at least some of the pos hets that he did end up holding up to do. But it was a terrible thing that happened. I couldn't imagine putting that much faith and that much trust in a person only to have them turn around and burn you that badly, especially when the project was that hot 8-9 years ago. Like if you go to market now, you can see what the pricing is for sunsets. Imagine what that price was 5 years ago. Like it's that person screwed him out of a fortune. And the fact that he's still so positive after something like that is pretty cool. Because I would be seething mad for the remainder of my life. I would literally just be like smoking. You would see it come off my skin. I'd be so angry. So it's pretty cool that you can take shit like that and just keep on keeping on.
Yep.
Yeah, so Richie's just said, oh, that's a terrible thing he did. So the terrible thing he did was trust those people and then have those people steal from him and then turn their back on him and release a bunch of really shitty pictures that were actually those people's fault because they were taking care of the animals, but they put it out there under the impression that it was Brian's fault, and made Brian just look like a horrible person, which was garbage. And basically, they were just trying to bury Brian's reputation. And for a while, it worked. But luckily for him anyway, he persevered, and he's still doing really well. So.
And I hated that on like the groups on Facebook, in that they were taking like real small snippet screenshots of a video and posting it online. Like there'd be a picture of Lucy's drawer, and the video, if you went and watched it, was literally them cleaning it because that morning she had destroyed it. But they would take a split-second screenshot, put it on the group, and say, look at the condition that he keeps his animals in. And I was like, that's bullshit, man. It's like, that's not how it works.
Well, I remember specifically, and I kind of found this after the MJ Cusco podcast that he did, I kind of went back through and just sort of did a little bit of fact-checking on a lot of the shit that's out there. And there's many people that are out there that hate on Brian. He has a lot of people that are pretty possibly loyal to him, right? So there's some cool stuff I found. Like there was a widespread picture from one of his vlogs a few years ago of exactly that. One of the tanks there was a screenshot of was apparently of that same morning the snake shit everywhere and destroyed it. And they were saying, oh, look at the care of his animals. But not only that, if you went back and watched the vlog before that, they had also just changed it the day before. And then the whatever it was, retech or whatever, went and destroyed it again that morning. So there was like on-camera proof that it wasn't just left like that, and still, like, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm trying to get the most optimum view
good
in here on my iPad. It's a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, working off the iPad is a pain.
And I'm trying to read the comments too. And when you do it on the iPad, since there's not like a app for it, I have to do it in the web browser. And so I can't see the video and the comments at the same time. So I'm reading the comments. I can't see me. I can see like a small silhouette of me in the background.
Gotcha.
But, Tom, does that look better? Tom told me I was all fuzzy. That looks better. I walked into the snake room. It's 57% humidity in here, so it's gonna. Anyway.
Well, it's nice in my truck.
And don't mind that sound in the background. I got a new Herpstat 1 spider web.
That beep from the spider web drives me nuts.
Well, and I think part of that beep right there. Shut up. The problem is, I'm using it on a rack that already had it's already set up and everything, and I didn't use the probe that came with the spider web. I used the one that was off my regular Herpstat one that's already in the rack. And I
Yeah, you
I
can't do
don't think it likes it because it's about every 30 seconds it beeps and yells at me about the probe.
Yeah, the new Herbstat probes are different from what I remember.
Yeah, so I plugged in my old one so it quits doing that. It's kind of annoying. I'm gonna go back and Marvel Balls UK. I would show you, but I just finally got him to eat, so I'm not gonna screw with him. So
What's that?
he is asking to see the Sumapide. He hasn't eaten yet, so I just assist fed him, and he took 2 frozen mouse fuzzies. So I'm gonna let him be because he's super small. So I think I was trying to offer him too big a prey to get started. So hopefully that takes and he takes off.
Yeah, I'm praying that my Fire Special double het hypo monsoon 50% het pied eats this week. I'm actually just heading to Nick's now to pick up my rats. But yeah, she hatched at the beginning of December. She hasn't eaten for me yet either, which is driving me nuts because that's one of our coolest animals we've had. We obviously hatched all year, right? Or ever. And it's the only one out of the clutch that hasn't eaten. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Corey Martin said, Jason, do you run a humidifier that's crazy high winter humidity? Not up here. It's not. It takes this 5-gallon humidifier running around the clock to keep this 10 by 16 room above 50% because it's about 12% outside right now. It gets wicked dry here in the winter. And the problem I fight is this mini split that I put in here to run the room to keep it warm. It, by design, when it's heating, draws humidity out of the room. So I'm running it to keep the room hot, and I'm running the humidifier to keep the room humid, and they're constantly battling each other.
Oh man, yeah, I can see that being a pain in the ass.
So and it's kind of cool. I ended up with because I also have an oil fill heater on the floor as a backup in case that thing on the wall, quits working or the condenser outside freezes with snow or whatever. But I end up with kind of like a natural nighttime drop out of it. So it runs between 70, 71, and then it gets back up to 75 where I have it set during the day. So it's kind of cool. I get like a normal cycle just by design.
Yeah,
Works out well. I mean, since I'm still using belly heat, I don't need to keep it crazy hot in here. Plus, it's with 60% humidity. If it were 80 or 85 in here, I couldn't stand to work in here. So,
yeah, I'm considering trying ambient next season just to see if anything, or like next year, see if I notice any drastic changes in like either amount of females that lay or don't lay or anything like that, because I've been hearing only good things. But yeah, like you just said, I think working in a room that's 85, 86 would just be deadly. So I don't know how bad I really.
I don't know how Billy and those guys do it. That seems way too hot to.
There were days that it was just brutal, like just insane.
Well, I don't get that because he runs belly heat too, so I'm not sure why he's doing both. It seems it's a little unnecessary.
Oh, it was more so that was just the temperature in there because of everything going on. Like he wasn't trying to run ambient as well. Yeah. So he was trying to get the temperature down most of the time. Just a big pain in the ass. Like if you ever turn the fans off in there for a couple minutes, you'd be sitting there, you'd just be like, "Oh my god, I'm suffocating!" Like it gets bad.
I bet. I'm curious to see once I get the rest of this upgrade and everything reset and the room redone the way I want, if the temperatures will change just from ambient back heat or belly heat and that radiating through it. It'd be interesting to see how that works.
Question for you: how did you get to know Barczyk in the first place?
So that was a complete shot in the dark, to be honest with you. I had been listening to his podcast, and I knew that he was doing that trip for Noah's birthday to Vegas, right? And I had sent, actually, it goes back well over a year ago, honestly. I had sent Brian an email just kind of out of the blue when he was in one of those really dark times for himself. Just kind of saying, hey man, just so you know, I mean, I'm sure you're aware, there's tons of us out here that like, I get up every morning and turn on his video. Like that's part of my routine. And there's plenty of people out here that do that and that look to him as kind of something to get their day started. And I got a response back from him almost immediately. So that was my initial introduction to him, but I don't know if he remembers that. That's been a while back. But I was listening to the podcast and he said he was going to do that trip. And then he had mentioned that one of the 2 states left that he's never been to is South Dakota, and he wanted to go to Reptile Gardens and meet up with Desiree and that, and that he was going through Yellowstone because I wanted to go do a bunch of video and photography work and stuff like that. I'm like, and it dawned on me that Yellowstone, doesn't matter where you come out of the park, to Reptile Gardens literally drives right through my town. There is only one way to get there. That's not true. There's 2 ways to get there, but the other way in the motorhome would have been a nightmare for him. And I think 14A going towards Cody is closed right now anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. So I was like, shit, he's coming right through here. And so I literally just, out of the blue, I actually emailed Beth at the front office gal first.
Uh-huh.
And I said, hey, just, I know this is a shot in the dark here, but I thought I would offer, I'm literally right along their route. I'm 5 hours from Reptile Gardens. I've been there a bunch of times. I used to live in Rapid City, and I know they're in the motorhome and that. I've got RV hookups for power in my driveway. I've got a fully furnished, empty guest room. If they want to crash here along the way or spend the night or hook up to the garage or whatever, they're more than welcome to stop by. And I just left it at that. Honestly thinking there's no way in hell I'm ever going to hear back from anybody, right?
Uh-huh.
And I actually got a reply to that email from Brian's personal email directly. And
Wow.
and he's like, yeah, that sounds super cool. So I sent a message back. I was like, I've got, I kind of gave him a little background on where I came from with his stuff and that. And I was like, I'm not a big grandiose collection. I know you're going to go see some crazy stuff in that, but I mean, you're more than welcome to stay. You're more than welcome. We can barbecue if you want to spend the night. Like, whatever. I'm totally game for whatever you want to do. I'm just here as a resource if you need it. And so he replied to that and sent me his cell phone number. He said, give me a call and we'll just stay in touch and we'll see how it goes as the trip progresses. And so I talked to him maybe 2 other times after that. And then I was watching the vlog and they took off on their trip and I didn't hear from them at all. I was like, I can see where this is going. So I didn't bother, and then as they were leaving Painted Rock or Painted Desert or whatever, I got a message from him that said, hey, it looks like we're going to be out of Yellowstone, whatever it is, tomorrow night. So, I mean, how does 9 o'clock? And it actually worked out to be a day earlier than we had planned, which worked out perfect because my wife worked the day he was supposed to be here, which means I'd have been here with my daughter, and that would have made, doing things and that really difficult. He's like, we need to be to Rapid City by whatever time on this day because we got to pick up Desiree and that. So does 9 a.m. work that morning for you? I'm like, absolutely, I'll be here, And so I gave him my address, and sure shit, he showed up in my front yard. So it was a total fluke, total shot in the dark. And so we stood in the kitchen and shot the shit for a while, and came out and looked at animals, and he did my video and that, and so it was really cool. I mean, we spent just over 2 hours together, I guess. And then they took off for Rapid City, and I've talked to him probably a half dozen times since then. I'm trying not to abuse that privilege. That I've got his personal cell phone number in that, because I'm still kind of just another fan or viewer or whatever. So I would like that to be an open door policy, obviously both directions. I mean, he's welcome here anytime. And And I told him, I was like, because Yellowstone was closed when they tried to go into it. I was like, if you guys want to come back, you're more than welcome to base out of here. I can tell you where to go, and you can, Yellowstone's an hour and a half drive from me. Like, if you want to stop through, whatever. So I want that to be an open door for him, if he needs it. And then should the chance present itself for me to go back there or go to the Reptarium or, what have you, I don't want to abuse the ability to just call him or text him whenever and ruin that. So
That's fair.
But no, it was like I said, just a total mistake. It was a total accident.
That's super weird too, because I had just assumed that you knew him somehow prior, and that
Nope.
you already had some sort of connection with him or to him to get that message across. You know what I mean? And hey, stop by. So that's really neat.
Well, and I think it goes to it speaks, like we were talking about. It speaks more to him as a person, because he's got 3 million subscribers on YouTube, and he makes God knows how much money, and he's what we would define as a pseudo celebrity, and some random no-name small collection kid in Montana reaches out to him, and he takes the time to go out of his way to visit and check out the collection and meet people, and that I think that really speaks to him as a person, because he could have just as easily blown off the email completely or responded and said, "Hey man, I appreciate the offer, but it's not my deal or not my style, or I can make it, or what have you." I still give Miguel shit, because last year when I went down to LA to Jay's place, I had originally coordinated with Miguel to meet him first, and he was gonna, because he's not far from LAX, and so he was actually gonna pick me up at the airport in one of his cars, in the Ferrari or whatever, and we were gonna go to Jay's place from there. That was the whole plan. And then he kind of went. I give him shit that he ghosted me, and he kind of went dark on me as that was unfolding and as I was flying in that. As it turned out, he seriously screwed up his back and couldn't hardly stand up the night before. So he literally couldn't have gotten to me. But I give him crap for that all the time. But and then funny thing about that is I still have never met Miguel.
Oh, really?
I didn't get a chance to see him on that trip. I went and spent 2.5 days with Jay, and then I was on the boardwalk at Newport, and got a call from Brian from Cusco, because I had talked to him once or twice, and my wife and I had sent them like a little care package when Leia was born, that included like a 7-foot long pink stuffed snake that she still carries around the house. I saw it in one of his stories the other day and commented on it. But I got a call from Brian, and he said, "Where you at?" I said, "Well, I'm standing on the beach in Newport," and because we were trying to figure out when I could get up there, because I was supposed to fly out of San Francisco, so I had to go up that direction anyway. And he, I said, "So where are you guys at?" He's like, "Well, and it turned out that was the week that he had just got back from his trip to Hawaii to find his car busted into and that. So they were driving back from the bay after getting the window in the car fixed. And I remember him saying, I said, "Well, I'm 2.5 hours from you here. And then I got to get to the bay at some point, and my flight tomorrow morning or whatever, tomorrow afternoon, whatever it is." He said, "Hang on a second." I hear him yell at Hillary, like, "Hey, do you care if Jason spends the night?" And she's like, "Jason who?" I'm like, "The other guy that sent the stuff for Leia, the snake." And so, so he sent me his address, and I just got in the car and started driving. I showed up to his house at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, hung out in his snake room playing with big snakes and doing some video work and that. And then he and I got the next morning, went to Freedom Breeder, and then I went to the bay from there. But yeah, it was a total fluke. That was a total kind of goofball situation, how that all transpired too.
That's crazy though. I was supposed to go do like a week-long visit out to Brian this year before all this fucking bullshit happened.
Yeah. Well, and that's been the fun. That's been the fun part about the hobby and about my ability with my job. I get to travel twice a year with my job, on the airline and that, and so I use that a lot of times to go visit collections and people and whatnot. I mean, that's how I got in touch. That's how I got with Stewart at Universal Rock. That's how I ended up at Bill Stiegel's place in Dallas and Chase Baker's. That's what got me to Justin's place 2 years ago for the first time, and that kind of thing. And I've had plans to go other places. Like I really want to get out to Nerd, and Jeremy has already set that up. I can do it anytime. I just can't get there right now. I've talked to Billy. I talked to Billy probably 4 times about flying into Buffalo and driving up to see you guys, because I can't fly internationally technically, but they can't stop me from driving. So I would just fly into Buffalo and drive across. But obviously that's not going to happen.
Pick you up if you're going into Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things. That's a trip I definitely want to make. But we just got to wait until you guys allow us up there, and until my job allows us to get in the airplane again. So who knows? But,
yeah, hopefully at some point. I'm hoping this vaccine at least chills out some of the restrictions placed on shit. You know what I mean? Like whether it works, doesn't work, whatever. Whether I don't care what your belief is or isn't or whatever. I just hope it chills enough people out that stuff starts getting a little more lenient. That's all I really give a fuck about. But apparently somebody's calling Chad a douche.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything in the comments here.
All right, I'm going to go run up to next door and grab my rats, and I'll be right back.
Okay, well, I'll be here in the comments if anybody has any questions. Yeah, and Nanette Chastain, I see your comment here. Yeah, that's, it's funny you mentioned that the way you did. You said it goes to show the answer is always no until you ask. My dad taught me a long time ago to never accept no from somebody that doesn't have the authority to say yes. Think about that, and what's the worst that could happen? It's, they ignore you or they say no or whatever. I mean, we're all people, and guys like Brian and I are just people. They're not, they're not going to eat you. So let's see here. I'm going back just a little bit here, guys, just to make sure I didn't miss something, because I can't on here. I can't see the comments and Chris at the same time. So, all right, I think we're all caught there. If you guys have any questions for me or whatever, I'm here. I guess I get to play the waiting game now. Let's see here. Hyped up reptiles, I see you, man. What's up? How you doing? Hey, Jason, are you liking the ultrasound you got? Funny you mentioned that. I haven't even turned it on since Brian was here. The issue with it, we've been super busy, and we were gone all last week back home for Christmas and a bunch of other things. I still have I've got a 4-month-old I got to deal with too. But since I do 99% of the work in here by myself, I haven't had a chance to try it again. The ultrasound, some people are really good at it. The ultrasound is really a 2-person job, just to keep the snakes from moving and, or to hold them and then to write the stats on the tub or on the board or whatever while you get another one, that kind of thing. So at some point, hopefully in the next week or so, I'll have my wife come out again, and we'll do another round. And I want to re-ultrasound Nala the Doom. She's in shed right now, so I'm hoping that's really good news that she's deep in shed, because she looks massive. So let's see what else. Anything in the incubator now? No, Corey. In fact, it's turned off. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not even plugged in. In fact, I'm in the process right now of designing a rebuild for the inside of here. I'm going to do 3 PVC walls, false wall, a totally different layout. I'm going to try to get it more balanced, top to bottom, a little bit more consistent than last year, if I can help it. Let's see here. That's
next? Always good. Look what I got.
Hang on, I can't see anything. I'm looking at the comments. What's that? You copied me.
I got pins done.
Yeah, those are.
They're all right.
You got? Did you get them from Sticker Mule?
Yeah, I got the acrylic ones. I thought I didn't read the description well enough, So I assumed they were enamel, and they showed up, and I was like, oh, that was my bad. But they actually turned out really well.
Well, you have different backs than I do. You've got the standard I don't know what you call them. We call them froggies. That metal back. Mine are rubber.
Oh, cool.
So
that's from Sticker Mule too?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know that was an option. I just got mine to test them out though, because I wanted something other than stickers to be able to send to people, and they showed up in really, really good quality. So I'm gonna get a bunch more.
When Billy unboxed the shirts I sent to those guys, he's like standing there like whipping it out and or flipping it, and it's like, yeah, check out the shirt, not like on the back, and all I see is the pin that I tagged to the tag on the back. I'm like, he's gonna flip this thing around, it's just gonna go stale, and he's never gonna see it. And then Austin finally caught it.
That's funny.
I missed some more comments. Hang on a second.
So Nick doesn't feed live, but you get your rat sent to his place. So Nick, I have forced to recently start feeding some of the animals live. Some of our pickier feeders, like especially adults. He doesn't like doing it, but it just needed to be done for the snakes. So I've got him in with my rat guy, so he gets a very small order weekly, just to go to some of those pick your animals, and then on weeks where I don't work at my office, because I actually get my rat order delivered to the office, because we have a big warehouse attached to it, just because it's easier. I'm not at the office this week. I'm off for Christmas and New Year's, so I just asked Nick to take my rat so I don't have to worry about it until after the podcast. So that's the story there.
Just to clear this up, Tom said, Jason, there should be a thing on StreamYard to be able to see the comments next to the video. That is 100% accurate, except on the iPad, because I'm using it through.
Oh yeah,
the
iPad is fucking me over too.
You don't get that option on here. There's nothing I can do about it. At least that I'm not seeing anyway. Paul Seraphin said, I still need to pick up a snake for me, brother, I guess, until the weather gets better. Paul, you just need to use your discount code and buy the scaleless female that I have, and we'll figure it out later.
Oh, that's right. He won that discount code. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Nice. How's that male doing? The dream.
He's doing fine. He's in with the Calico Enchi pin right now.
Oh shit! Nice. So he's eating for you and everything. No problems.
Yeah. Hopefully that takes. Yeah.
Sweet. That's a sick pairing. Calico Enchi.
I might move him down to and I might move him down to a smaller tub just to see if it's a little bit more exuberant. Let's see here.
Has he not been locking for you?
No, well, I mean, this is, I think, the second time I've tried, or the first time I've tried, because like I said, I was gone all last week, so.
Right, yeah, fair enough.
So we kind of got a late start with him. It's no big deal. Let's see, pins. Oh, it jumped. What the hell? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, cool. I just had to sell another Dreamsicle male along with a decent sized lab hepide female because I was a little behind on a couple bills. Yeah, well, it was not what I wanted to do, that's for sure. But some money issues came up, and then Christmas and all that bullshit. So yeah, I had to sell a 1,000-gram lab hepide female with a dream male. So not too happy about that, but the money was nice. So
I just finished paying off the that freeway mail.
Oh, nice.
So
I still can't believe you didn't enter our giveaway.
Yeah, I don't know. The problem is I saw it too while I was gone. I was out of town, so I wasn't really in a position to do anything about it.
Fair enough.
But then again, it's like, what am I going to do with another male that is less genetically diverse than this freeway I have coming, but also a male making male banana. I'm trying to avoid having male makers in my collection.
The other side of that is I find single gene asphalts better than freeways because you could have a clutch from a freeway and throw all yellow belly.
I know.
Every time an asphalt throws every time an asphalt throws, it's at least guaranteed asphalt, right? So
yeah, and I also thought about when I bought that freeway mail. I also thought about trying to buy a super asphalt mail instead, for the same reason. But I'll play the same game as everybody else. And,
yeah, that's fair.
And if nothing else, I mean, even when
the good thing is you have a freeway mail. Go ahead.
I was saying, if nothing else, I'll put it to a bunch of other stuff, long-term projects that I have, and keep most of it back, and either make ivory versions or super asphalt versions or freeway versions of what I'm trying to work with. So who cares, right?
And you have some yellow belly stuff now, right? Like,
yeah,
I imagine you have some yellow belly females growing up or full grown.
I've only got
or whatever.
2. I've got 3 yellow bellies, I guess. I've got the Banana Phantom yellow belly female that she'll be ready at the end for next year, more than likely. I've got a Phantom yellow belly female that is slowing down right now, and then I've got a yellow belly possible het clown female over there, but that's it. So apparently there is a very, very slight chance. Well, you told me that freeway male is het clown as well. And so how?
Oh, you bought the one from Nicole?
Yes.
Oh shit! I didn't know you bought that one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a chance that is het clown.
So how insane would it be if this girl will keep eating? If next year I put that to this yellow belly 50% possible het clown female and hit asphalt clowns out of that, or
asphalt
freeway
and
clowns
freeway
out of
clowns.
that.
Yeah.
How insane would that be?
So sick.
Oh,
I'm so happy you got that animal. Oh man,
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was the one you picked up.
Friggin' OD freeway clowns, Phantom freeway clowns. Like, it would be stupid.
I was actually just talking to Nicole yesterday, maybe the day before. I think it was on Christmas. I think it was Christmas afternoon because maybe Boxing. I don't remember. One of the last couple days because I was talking to her about Corey picking some animals up, and then she posted her list in some of the local groups here because she's like 3 hours away from me, and she posted a blackhead leopard Mojave pied female.
Wow.
And I really want it, but I'm still paying off the stranger. So yeah, I'm gonna try and find a way to make that happen because we already have the blackhead leopard Mojave yellow belly pied female from Justin, but I would love to have another one in the rack too because those blackhead pied combos are insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do mine the long way around, but I've got that blackhead calico male that I can use. So
that's a good combination for that too, blackhead and calico.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping my calico het pied stuff gets up to size by the end of 2021 because I think calico pied is going to be huge in the next couple of years, man.
Well, that's part of this dreamsicle thing. I mean, calico, Enchi, pinstripe, double het dreams. I mean, there's all kinds of options there.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, you're going to make some cool stuff with that male.
And I want to get the pinstripe into the dreamsicle project anyway because pin pieds are badass.
Weirdly enough, I just said her name, but me and Corey have been talking about pin pieds on and off for like a month every time one of us sees one. They're so cool. I can't believe there isn't more of them.
And I'm gonna start working for pin clown pieds too. I think that'll be rad.
Yeah, I was hoping to get into that if my one female proved out het clown this year. I was gonna put her to a pied het clown next year, but she didn't prove out. So I got a little bit more work to do to get pin into my clown pied stuff, unfortunately. But hoping.
Yeah, maybe the way to do it, maybe keep some of this double het stuff back, obviously. And then maybe next year breed that pinstripe clown to my pied het lav. And keep a bunch of that too.
Yeah,
double het clown pied, possible het lavender.
Yeah, the fact that everything's guaranteed double het makes that a safer bet because even when you miss on the 50% heads, you still have a fucking double head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did this year with my hypo clown pied stuff. I made a clutch of double het clown pied 50% het hypos. Because realistically, at the end of the day, if those females only prove out clown pied, they're still fucking
so
double
what?
het clown pied. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't really go wrong. So, yeah, that would be a pretty cool way to go about it.
Yeah, you know, and it's weird because I'm not big on 50% heads. I try not to breed for 50% if I can help. I try not to breed for plus head at all, but I just don't have that luxury right now.
Mhm.
But I kept back because I was trying to prove out that weird normal female that I have.
Yep.
And I was trying to figure out what that might be. I thought it was phantom too, and it proved not to be because I didn't hit any potions of any kind,
Mhm.
or I just missed. That's possible.
No, I
But
remember
I
we
had
were
bred.
talking about that female when you and I first started talking, like way
Yeah,
back.
and so this past year I bred the GHI Mojave at the time possible het club proved out 100% to her, and so I now have three. I saved one of the GHI Mojave possible het clown females because I think she'll prove. She's got a really wicked pattern and it looks super reduced in that, and so she might also be Chloe. I have no idea. But I also saved all three. I hit three of them. I hit all three normal female 50% het clowns. Not one of them looks normal. They all kind of look like they have an influence of that Chloe thing going on, that weird normal, but they're not dark. They almost look yellow belly. Honestly, they've got a lot brighter contrast in color and more reduced pattern. But they're not just het clowns either, because I've got a het clown right here that I can compare them to, and they look nothing like it.
Have you kept any males back that look funky from her that you put to her?
He's in there right now.
Awesome. That's the way to do it, man.
But he might not quite be big enough yet, but I was like, screw it, I'm gonna try it. And if it works, it works.
Sometimes you've gotta just cross your fingers and hope for the best, right?
Hey, sometimes those little 350, 400 gram males get it done.
Yeah. I had a 400 gram male breeding for me last year, and it worked out. So
yeah,
let me say it doesn't happen.
Let me see if he's locked up. I'll show you. Yeah, he's not locked up. She is so much bigger than him. I always think she's like smothering him in the back of the tub.
That's funny.
But yeah, so this, I don't know how well people are going to be able to see, but this is allegedly just a pastel. And you can see like what I refer to as the lava lamp pattern. A lot of lava lamping. It's got these really bright white outlines on it and really dark black in the middle. So it's pastel and what I think is whatever this Chloe thing is I'm working with. So if that's the case and they get it done, I should theoretically be able to see a super if that's actually a thing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool though if that proved out to be something.
Yeah, if not, it just it throws really bizarre patterned normals. It's like my pastel and scale said, he throws the nicest pastels I have ever seen. So I just use it that way. So
anyway, I'm now home.
Okay.
Probably gonna wrap this up because I have like 200 rats to feed off beside me. So, yeah, thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. Figured you were the guy to bring on to this one just because you have a bit of insider knowledge with Mr. Brian Bartek, and that's what we had on the podcast. So I appreciate your time.
Well, and I have a Brian project. So
what is that?
She is. That's the scaleless.
Oh shit.
She's like almost 250 grams now, man. She eats everything I put in front of her.
Yeah, I was just surprised by her size. Holy crap.
Yeah, she eats like a horse. She sheds every time you feed her. It's just weird, man.
Crazy.
As much as I could use the money, I kind of want to hold on to her just because she's cool,
Yeah, I honestly want a scaleless just to have a scaleless. I don't know if I'd ever want to breed it or worry about breeding it or any of that bullcrap. I just want to have one because it'd be so friggin' cool to have it. Like, just hold it in my hands. So, Who
I
knows?
wasn't.
We're gonna go.
I wasn't reading the comments. There's a bunch of people in here saying that is not just a pastel. So I hope they're right. We'll see.
Yeah, I think you got something there. But funny thing is, my only shot at potentially making scaleless animals this year, we're actually passing up because we're gonna try to make some pastel pastel Mardi Gras scaleless head 50% hepides instead. So I think that'll end up being worth it, but it's just another year that I won't be able to potentially hit my scaleless.
Yeah.
So
well, Corey's gonna beat me to the scaleless pied because I didn't hit any females this year, and she's got a female het that's already on her way. So
yeah, I think next year is gonna be Corey's year. She's gonna make some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
All
Well,
right, man.
I appreciate it, Jason. Thanks a lot, man.
Yep.
Thanks everybody that stuck with us this whole time. I don't know why you guys did, but you did, so thank you. And yeah, we'll catch you next week.
See ya.